Many people who sign up for Medicare pick a plan, sign up, and then never give it a second thought. And I mean, I get it. Medicare is complicated, and so a lot of people, once they make a decision, they never want to worry about it again. But you see, here's the big problem, and that's that your Medicare plan can change from year to year. So even if you don't change anything, things like your doctor's networks, drug coverage, and even the cost of your plan can still change from year to year. And if you're not paying attention, you may end up paying more than you had anticipated and relying on benefits that no longer exist or that may have changed. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly when you should review your Medicare plan, things that you actually will want to check, and why not reviewing your plan every year can actually be a very costly mistake. So let's start with what many people get wrong in regards to Medicare. You see, a big mistake that people make is assuming that the Medicare plan that they sign up for will just continue to roll over year after year and that nothing changes. They expect the same costs, the same doctors, the same medications, but the truth is Medicare doesn't really work that way. Medicare Advantage plans and Part D plans are actually run by private insurance companies, and those companies typically run on one-year contracts with Medicare. And so every year, the insurance companies can change the price, the deductible, the drugs on the formulary, provider networks, pharmacy networks, and even the extra benefits like dental coverage, vision coverage, and things like that. And so the plan that you had last year may look exactly the same on paper as the plan that you'll have going into the upcoming year, but the details can actually be very different. And here's the kicker, and that's that about 69% of Medicare beneficiaries never compare their current plan to other available plans during enrollment periods. They just let it roll over and hope for the best. And so that's a lot of people putting a lot of faith in a plan they haven't really checked. And in this year in particular, there's a lot of changes that you'll want to be aware of. So let's look at why reviewing your plan is even more important in 2026. So major insurers like United Health and Humana are exiting hundreds of counties across the country. Networks are shrinking, some plans are switching from drug copays to drug coinsurance, over-the-counter allowances are getting smaller, and other plans seem to be getting reduced across the board. But there is some good news. The out-of-pocket Part D cap is now $2,100, and so that can help protect people against skyrocketing drug costs. Medicare negotiated lower prices on the first 10 high-cost drugs, and those new costs have been in effect since January 1st. But the only way to take advantage of this new cap is to actually look at your plan. And you should be checking more often than you think, and I'll go ahead and explain that. You see, there are several key moments in the year when you should be looking at your plan, but many people only know about one of them, and that's the annual enrollment period. It runs from October 15th to December 7th every year. It's the main window when you can swap plans and check out different plans, and then that new plan will go into effect January 1st typically. Now this is obviously a very important time to review your plan, but it's not the only time. Another time to review your plan is when your plan notices arrive. Your plan is required to send you what's called an annual notice of change, also called an ANOC letter, every year by September 30th. And this letter lays out exactly what's changing in your plan for the upcoming year. And so this will include any changes to your costs, doctors' networks, drug formularies, or changes to certain benefits on your plan. And it's best to read through this letter before the annual enrollment period begins, so that way you're prepared. You'll also get the updated Medicare and You handbook in late September. That's the official government guide to Medicare for the upcoming year. And it's just something that's worth looking through. The next moment to review your plan is at the start of the new year, because January 1st is the day that all the new changes go into effect. So even if you kept the same plan, things like your premium could have changed, your copays may have changed, or even your network of doctors may have changed. And so it's just worth double checking that all the changes are as you expected. Now, another great opportunity to review your plan is during what's called the open enrollment period, and that runs from January 1st through March 31st. And so during this time, if you're already on a Medicare Advantage plan, you have a one-time opportunity to switch your plan. So let's say during the annual enrollment period from October to December, you maybe made a plan switch, and then come January or February, you don't like the new plan that you're on, you can get that one-time switch to enroll into a different Medicare Advantage plan, or drop your Medicare Advantage plan and return to original Medicare. Now, if you had a major life change, it's also a good idea to review your current plan. For example, if you moved, changed coverage, or were affected by, let's say, natural disaster of some kind, you may qualify for what's called a special enrollment period. And this is where you can get a special window open to you to where you can change from one plan to another. So as you can see, there are many opportunities throughout the year for you to review your plan and just to double check that it still fits your needs and that you're still satisfied with it. But knowing when to review your plan is only half the battle, and it's still important to know what to look for as you look at other plans. So when you do eventually sit down to review your plan, here are some things to look at. First, look at the total yearly cost, not just the monthly premium. You also need to look at things like the deductibles, the copays, the coinsurance, and your out-of-pocket maximum. And so a plan with a $0 premium could still cost you thousands of dollars a year, especially if you're using your plan heavily. So again, you want to look at what you may spend over the course of a year and not just what you may spend from month to month. And second, you need to check in on your drug coverage. Pull out your list of current medications and look at your plan's drug formulary, which is a list of covered drugs on your plan. So verify that every drug you take is still on this list. Check if your drug has been moved to a higher tier, and do any of the drugs you currently take now require what's called a prior authorization, where you need to get approval from your doctor before you can get a refill of that drug. You see, these things can change every year and can drastically change what you pay for your medications. Now, the third thing you want to check is your preferred pharmacies. Not just whether or not your pharmacy is a network, check to see if it's still a preferred pharmacy. Because you see, there is a difference between the two. And that's that plans typically charge a lower copay at these preferred pharmacies, and insurances have been narrowing those networks to steer people towards specific chains. So if your pharmacy is no longer preferred, you may end up having to pay a little bit extra money. Now, the fourth thing you want to check is your doctors and hospitals. Networks change every year, and doctors can leave plans and hospitals can get dropped. So even if your plan name stayed the same, the providers on your plan may have changed. And if you're on an HMO, going out of network could mean paying 100% of the cost of seeing that doctor. And fifth, you want to look at the extra benefits. So this is going to be things like vision, dental, over-the-counter allowances, hearing, transportation, and even food cards. Sometimes these changes aren't obvious until you go to use them. So check your annual cap on dental, check your current over-the-counter allowances, check how many rides you get if you have transportation benefits, because even if the marketing says you still have the benefit, you may still have the benefit, but at a reduced amount. So all in all, just keep in mind, there's really no such thing as, well, my plan didn't change. These plans are constantly changing from year to year, and it's important just to stay on top of it to make sure that you're not left without a benefit that you may have been depending on. Medicare is not just set it and forget it. And if you feel overwhelmed with so many options in your area, speak with a Medicare specialist that you trust, who can help you decide maybe which plan fits your needs best. Not reviewing your plan throughout the year can be a big mistake, but an even bigger mistake may be delaying Medicare once you turn 65. It can leave you with gaps in coverage and may even leave you with lasting penalties. And for that reason, it's important to know when and how to delay Medicare, or if you're even eligible to delay Medicare. So check out this video here where I go over what you need to know if you're 65 and you have not signed up for Medicare just yet.